My name is Robert Lemayan. I am from Samburu, Conservancy, Sarara Camp. I've been working here for many moons and it's approaching 20 years now. So I've lived all my life here. I'm born and brought up here, so this is home.
And can you tell me a bit more about the conservancy?
So Namnya Conservancy was started in 1995 and it's 850,000 acres of land that is all purely owned by the Samburu community. It was started as a result of poaching within this area. This camp has been really a big blessing to the community, to the Namnyak people, to the Samburu people. As a result of building this lodge, we've got revenue from the lodge here. Our kids can go to school through bursaries that are from the revenue from here. We've had really good security. The community embraces the whole idea of conservation. We know for sure that in Kenya there is about 70% of the wildlife is in unprotected areas, and Namunyak and as well as other conservancies is considered as the 70% of unprotected area. So that is why we, as a community, we really want to protect our wildlife and to be able to have pride in conservation.
How does the tourism support conservation in the community?
Tourism supports community and obviously conservation on rangelands in a very special way. It's one of the key pillars of conservation. If you do not have tourism, you can really not justify the fact that how are you getting, how would the community know and see that there is fruits in conservation? So you need to have tourism brings the revenue to the community so that the community can see that at least after taking care of the wildlife, it's rewarding. So they're getting something out of it. Kenya has got about 42 tribes total, and we are one of the minority tribes, Samburu, but we have got a very, very big land that is semi-arid, and we don't do crop farming. So we are nomadic people, and nomadic means we move, in search of pastures. So we have a very big range of land that we move on and we cover in search of pastures and water.
Like how many times do you move?
A village could be, on average, in one area for about 6 months, sometimes less, sometimes more. Could be more if, for example, you are within an area and you are there for maybe a month or two, and then it starts raining. So you don't have a reason to really move because you're obviously moving in search of pastures, and now there is rain. So you'll obviously have water, you'll have green grass, so there's no need for you to move. It could be less than 6 months. If, for example, you come into an area, it has already been overgrazed, then you don't have to stay there. And maybe there's an outbreak of disease, maybe there is ticks. And also we as a tribe, we are very, very superstitious about death. So when there is, for example, if someone dies in a village, elderly people are buried within the village and young people are not, so they are left out in the wild. And then within a month we have to move out of that area because we think that the spirits of that person will come back within that area, and we try to move out of that area as quickly as possible. The Samburu people, we are from a Jewish origin, so we are one of the lost tribes of Israel, and we've came down along the River Nile, and that is why the reason why we are called Nilotic speakers. And we came and settled further north of here into the Ndotos. That's many years ago, and we've managed to keep and practice the Passover as it is in the Bible. We've managed to keep circumcision. We've moved it a little bit from 8 days to about 13, 14. And in Jewish, in Jewish life, and that is when you around 13, that is bar mitzvah, and that is when you become a man. So instead of 8 days, we moved it to 13. And when our boys go through initiation, as in circumcision, that is when they are considered men. Some of them younger than that, some of them older.
Yeah.
So we have a warrior generation of about 12 years, and within those 12 years, no one else is allowed to be circumcised. So during that time, if you are maybe around 5 years old, you'd obviously miss out on that generation's circumcision.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for about 12 to 15 years. 12 to 15 means maybe 12 years if it's if the conditions are right, you know, the rains are right, the pastures are good, the water is good, then you can celebrate, because it's a big celebration for the warrior generation to graduate to the next level, and for the new one to be circumcised and then to become men. However, it could be, you know, 12 years and you are in the middle of the drought, so that's nothing you celebrate then. Then you have to wait until you're about 15 years, then you can celebrate. So you have to wait for the rains, you have to wait for the right conditions, and then you can celebrate. Celebration means there will be lots of slaughtering of cows and goats and camels, and singing and dancing, and then it's like a whole transition from one generation to the next.
Do you drink alcohol?
No alcohol. Alcohol is only allowed for the elders and young men, no? And we only use the local liquor called Muratina.
Is it strong?
It's made out of a sausage tree, Kigelia africana, and we use the sausage. You know, we use the sausages, and those are the fermenting agents for the local liquor. We use also aloes to give that hard liquor taste, and we use also lots of honey. So you chop the sausages into small pieces from the tree, the sausage tree, and then you put it into water. You put some aloes, and you also put lots of honey and ferment it for a few days. It could be a week, and then you drink it. It will still be very it will still be very sweet, but it, you know, after some time, you know, you feel nice.
Can you tell me how you coexist with the wildlife in the area if you come into contact with it?
We know how to live, you know, for all our lives. We are born and brought up in the same ecosystem where there is wildlife and they roam around. Over time, we've learned that an animal can never attack unless being provoked. And also we know that there is 2 zones in life, obviously also for humans, but mostly for wildlife. There is the flight zone, which everyone would want to take. So when you are within the flight zone of any animal, they will always walk away from you, turn around and walk away. And so you try always to stay within the flight zone. You know for sure that as soon as you are within the fight zone, which is the second zone in life, even a tiny little bird cannot turn around. They'll fight for you going forward. So you really don't want to be within the fight zone. That is the bottom line. That is the basic knowledge that we have. And also when you're in the wild, you must have all your senses on. So your smell, your sight, your hearing, it has to be on alert all the time, so that in case you hear something break a tree, you can very easily tell if it's an elephant. Sometimes you smell even elephants from a distance. Sometimes you also have to listen to the birds. There's some birds that will warn you. Birds like oxpeckers, when you hear them, then you know that like 98% that will be buffalo. Birds like goe birds, woodpeckers, they'll warn you that there is an animal, or even sometimes it's a human being ahead of you. So you just have to be very careful, and you approach that area with a little bit of caution, because there's definitely something in there.
Thank you.